I'm like, bro, I'm a receiver. Like, we can't run the split back here. I'm like, that's cool, coach, but I'm like, I need some action, man. I got to throw the ball, right? And so I started looking at Bill Walsh's stuff, right? He was a high school coach in the Bay Area. I'm looking through all this stuff. I'm trying to figure out, man, how can we keep the two backs on the same side? We can run every run of football. We can run option. We can run power. We can run, like, we can do all the runs, right? And we can run the triple option in cool ways and throw the ball, right? I'm trying to figure out, how do I piece this all together, right? And so, for all you guys that think, like, they used to laugh at me when I first got into college football, I was telling Coach Patton, I started off the meeting and I showed him my Waynesboro High School football plays. I was at the University of Howard, okay? I went to Howard University, right? And I had Cam Newton's little brother, Kayla Newton, and I showed him the Waynesboro plays. He said, Coach, we're going to run that offense from your high school. Right? And I'm like, listen, if it worked in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, okay, it's going to work anywhere in college football. Okay, so the reason why I had that confidence, though, is because my coach in college was Gus Malzahn. He came from being a high school coach, okay, and he said, we're going to run my high school plays, and we're going to take over the college football world. And everybody looked at him like, he's crazy. No way. No way. And then the first year there, we were the number one offense in the nation, okay, in FBS. And so I took the same deal here, in these plays that I'll show you, I ran these same exact plays in high school. Okay, I ran these same exact plays in high school. It's funny, I laugh at our practice plans. When I was a player on the Miami Dolphins, I took Nick Saban's practice plan, and I made that my high school practice plan. And we run the same. When I got to the University of Texas, Coach Sark showed me the practice plan. I started laughing. I'm like, bro, I ran that same practice plan at St. Patrick, St. Vincent, and Waynesboro High School as a high school head coach, right? And so we had that same deal. And so here, the go-go offense, our first game in college football, right? Nobody even knew Howard had a football team. I did. Mike London called me, right? Me and his son played on the Dolphins together. He called me and said, I want you to run that high school offense that everybody tells me about. And I'm like, Coach, you're really going to let me run this offense? Like, you're not going to? He's like, I'll take the job. I had no clue about anything at Howard, right? So my mom, obviously, she's been to D.C. a few times. I'd only seen the White House. She told me that D.C. is known for the go-go music. Okay, so one day, we're practicing that practice, and the music's blasting, right? If you ever been in the University of Howard, like, the people play music on their porch, like they're playing go-go music, Chuck Brown, and I'm like, hey, fellas, that's that go-go stuff, right? And the player's like, yeah, Coach, that's go-go music, and I'm like, we're going to be the go-go offense. And it kind of just hit me. The first game of the season, we have the biggest upset in college football history. We were 40-point underdogs to UNLV at Howard. 40-point underdogs, okay? And we went out there and we beat them 43-40, okay? And so that's how, right? Boom. And then so it's, God has a sense of humor, I always say, okay? Then I'm at UNLV as the offensive coordinator. Okay, how cool is that? Okay, so here's some plays. Okay, so, okay, as we talk about our offense, okay, real quick, okay, just so you guys know kind of how our offense goes. All right, the first thing we always talk about is value in the ball, 100% ball security. Everybody knows that, right? Violent is play hard as hell, okay? I always say, like, okay, my mom she played Division II basketball, and I was saying, like, she was the one who made me and my brother tough. The first time she took us out there, we were little kids. I was like 7 or 8 years old. She teaches us how to play basketball. She fucking knocks me down, elbows me in the chest, makes a layup, and she tells me it's a man's game. And I'm like 7 or 8 years old. I'm about to get ready. I'm like, now I'm ready. I'm like, okay, let's go. Right? And I knew then, like, man, right? And our Little League coach used to always say, like, we lost our first game in Little League, and I'll never forget, he said, look over there. And we looked at the other team, and they're dancing, and they're running around, and they're having a great time. He goes, that's why every single time you get out on the field, you got to play as hard as you possibly can. Because if they have a chance to beat you, they will. Right? And so we have to teach our guys to play hard as hell at all times. Right? We have no chance to win if we don't play hard. Right? And so we don't even let guys get on the field. The first thing is like, bro, you just got to play hard. And we've won with a lot of players that people did not want. My man, baby Jesus, he's going to Cal now starter. Nobody wanted him. But every day he practiced. I mean, we had walkthrough. It's like, bro, it's walkthrough. He be full speed. Coach, I got to beat somebody. I'm like, bro, can you just do this walkthrough, please? Can you calm down? But every day, that's what his mentality was. Right? And it got contagious. So you have to play hard as hell. Okay? The next one is variety. right? And the reason why Coach Patton is here, and I love what he does, because he thinks about football the way that I do, right? It's 11 people. How many different varieties of ways can we find a way to work with these 11 people and do different things, right? And come up with solutions. Vertical, we just want to be downhill fast. We're about speed. We want to be sudden, right? The fastest way to the end zone is a straight line. We do not want to be a sideways team. We're not cute finesse. Okay, our favorite play here is Pittsburgh and Steeler. You can tell everybody in the country our favorite play is do okay? Or inside zone for some people, okay? All right, and then the last one is victory, right? We just want to be 1 point better than the other team. I don't care if we win 3-2. Really doesn't matter to me. I'm not an offensive guy, defensive guy. I just want to win the damn game. Okay, I just want to win. Okay, we good on that? All right, so we talked about this, right? Basketball on grass, conceptual learning, right? So now this makes you be a real teacher, okay? You have to be a real educator to your players, right? You can't go in there and go like, right? So we don't teach the receivers, the running backs, the tight ends. We teach them with, like, if you were here, this is what you would have in this concept. If you were here, this is what you would have in this concept. We want everybody to have a general knowledge and understanding of what we're trying to run. So then we can think players, not plays, right? Because obviously the game is about matchups. Certain guys are on certain spots, right? And we want to be able to get our players in good situations, right? Every playmaker gets a chance to make a play. I always tell the guys, if you practice and you make plays and you're consistent, we're going to give you an opportunity in the game to make plays. We are not a little league offense. One guy is not going to dominate the ball the entire game. We're going to make the defense cover everybody out there that we put as a skill. Like Coach said, we got 5 little linemen that can't get the ball, right? So we're already at a disadvantage. If we're only giving the ball to 1 or 2 guys, then we're really at a disadvantage, right? And I coached at places, right, where we didn't have the top players. So when I got to a place where we had the top players, guess what I told the coach to do when I was at Texas? And Coach Stark would tell me, Marion, shut your ass up on the headset. I would say, give the ball to Bijan. We had Bijan Robinson. We had the best running back in college football. I'm like, hand it to him again. I'm the receiver coach. Xavier Worthy's looking at me like, Coach, shut up. I'm like, bro, give the ball to Bijan. Again, big players, not plays. I don't care how many. Stark had all these cool plays. I'm like, bro, the best play is giving the ball to Bijan. Okay? All right? And then the last one is how you play without the ball plays. I had an old Italian basketball coach. When I was there, he would say, like, what wins the game is diving on the floor, setting the screen, running back on defense, doing all the little things right. And so we're trying to teach all our skill players that how you play without the ball determines how much you love your teammates. Right? So they think when I get the ball, I'm going to come alive. I'm going to show everybody I'm a dog. Right? Show us you're a dog when you don't have the ball. That shows the team that you really care about winning. All right? And then really what our offense we try to do is, right, so when people say, what's the go-go offense? Really, it's a high school offense. I started calling plays at James Logan in 2010. Coach Zuber was like, he was getting on the fight with a coach, and he was like, Brennan, you got it. And I was like, got what? I was like, what you want me to do? He was like, call it. I'm like, I was like, all right, I'll just call the plays that Gus called, right? And that's what I did. I just called the plays that we called at Tulsa. I didn't know anything else at that time, all right? And some of the NFL plays that I do. But really what we're trying to do is we're trying to have a Friday night offense, a Saturday offense, and a Sunday morning offense in our offense, all right? So that takes a lot of teaching, right? And you guys will see, I'm going to show you. In our offense, we do everything. There's not anything we won't do to score a touchdown, okay? And I used to be a guy who said, we only do this. But then I got little Johnny who can't do that. And we got to lose a game because we said, we only do this. We're so tough. We only do this. Well, they're whooping our ass, and we can't do that. So I had to figure out something else, right? When I was in high school, you got to figure something else out. I'm like, bro, I got to do something else. And then this game, the conditions were bad. We were an air raid team. The quarterback can't hold the ball. The ball's too wet. Boom. I'm like, damn, you got to figure those things out as a coach, right? So now in my middle-aged life as a coach, I just don't want to let the players down. Right? So what Coach said, y'all missed some gold there. He was saying, like, make sure if you look at that outline, right, it's like so you don't let your players down. That's all that outline was. If you follow that outline, you will not let your players down. Your players will be on point at all times when they step on the field. Okay? All right, so here we go. All right, so Steeler, okay? First play right here. We're in an unbalanced formation. Okay, we're in an unbalanced formation. We're in 12 personnel. We have 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. We use all the personnel. Okay, 21 personnel is my favorite. Okay, but both backs have to be tough asses, and sometimes that's hard to do because when they're used to just I get the ball and I don't block. Okay, but at a time when we were at Howard, we used 21 personnel all the time. UNLV, we used it a little bit. At Texas, we put it in because I told Coach that 21 personnel is good. 49ers, other teams, fullback, right? But 12 personnel. Okay, so all we're trying to do here is if we get 2 over 2, okay, the quarterback knows that it's RPO time, baby. We're playing basketball. Okay, so we have Stiller on in the box. Okay, he makes an easy alert call. We're throwing the ball. It's 2 over 2, right? Simple. We call that exit right there. We put an X on the 2 guys covering us. Exit. Okay? All right? And so this is a way, like every way that we can manipulate and get the defense, off guard, right? They think they have everybody covered up, which they do, right? They're very sound in what they have right here, right? And now, boom. Okay? Here we go. Here's another RPO. Okay, so now we have a fullback in the game. Okay, so we played with a fullback last year. We're in 21 personnel. Okay, we're running inside zone. We're running Steeler. Now we're running it from an opposite look. Okay, we're still, boom, right there. Okay, and how we define all our runs. Okay, I heard Coach talking earlier. We just define our runs in 2-man surface and 3-man surface. 2-man surface means we're running a triple option. That means the quarterback can hand the ball off, he can pitch the ball, right? Or he can take it himself. Or we say it's a 3-man surface where the quarterback has 2 options, either to hand the ball off or he's throwing an RPO. Okay, based off of what the read key, what his pitch key is. Okay? So boom, right there. Okay, so Stiller. All these are looks off Stiller. So you see right there, they're bailing. We had both guys open, right? He could throw it to the outside guy. He could throw it to the inside guy. They're just playing cover 3 right there. Boom, right down the seam. Nice and easy. Okay, you see the O-line is blocking Stiller. Okay? Next play. All right, here we go. Stiller again. All right, so Coach said, right now we're doing, what was that technique you called, Coach?
Jump ball.
Okay, I just call this like when my dad played 52 dunk right here, okay? We just dumping it to the tight end, okay? So this is what we like to call it. We know, look, so now you see we're in 21, we're in an extra lineman, okay? We use an extra lineman here. So now we have an extra lineman in the game. So we tell our linemen, if you're freaking doing a great job and you're doing everything you're supposed to do, right? We hate to have those guys sit on the bench. We're going to go use one of those guys. So we use an extra lineman to come in the game and help us out. Okay, so now we're in our elephant personnel with an extra lineman. We got Stiller going on in the box, right? Capture the defense's eyes, throw it over the head. Okay, a little pop pass. Okay, here we go. Now we're going, right, a little bit different, right? It's still Stiller. We call this one Tomlin, okay? All we're doing now is run split zone, okay? And now we add a bang on it. Okay, we have a bang and we have a flat. So now we'll let the fullback block, okay, or now the tight end, right? Because now we still have 2 backs. We're in 21 personnel. Now he became the Y instead of being in the backfield. Okay, so now he's the Y. He splits back, right? Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. And we throw the bang. Okay, so all the different ways that we can create the same play. We're running the same play. Okay, and there's a lot of different looks at how it'll pop up. All right, here we go. Here's another one. We're running Stiller. The quarterback knows if he chases him, it's man. And if he chases him, right, we're going to throw it back to him. Okay, so our scouting reports, we beat teams on, if we're playing a defensive coordinator, okay, me and our offensive coordinator, what we do, because we're football junkies, okay, we'll find out every stop that defensive coordinator was at, and we look up every play that he let a touchdown be scored on. Okay, and we'll watch all those plays, and we'll find which one. We're going to find one. Okay, and most of the time, we're going to score on that exact same play that you got scored on. If it's in the realm of what we do, we're going to find out. Okay, and we're going to get a touchdown off of you on something that you've given up already. So they gave up this touchdown before. Boom. Right? But in the box, if he was to zone it off, if he was to go back and not go with him, we would just be running Steeler. You see that? We would just be running inside zone. Right? If we handed the ball off, the back probably would have scored there as well. Okay? Here we go. Extra lineman in the game. Okay? We got the wide, we got the fullback, right? We're running Steeler. Okay, and it became a mentality, right? Little old UNLV, little old Howard, little old William and Mary, right? We play these bigger and better teams. They got better guys. They're powerful. All those things, right? All those excuses that people try to make up. We tell our guys to spot the ball. We'll play the Steelers, the 49ers, whoever you want to put in front of us. We'll play them up, right? Sorry, I cuss. I'm from Pittsburgh. Try not to. Okay? But we'll play anybody, anywhere. We do not care, right? And our guys start to get that mentality, and you see we're leaning on these dudes right here. They're bigger than us. All the recruits are higher rated recruits. All that stuff. Right? So some guys would say, well, man, we can't run duo against them because they're bigger than us. We're moving their ass. Okay? All right, here we go. Here's why the offense started right here, okay? All right, so now we're going what we call, it's still inside zone up front, okay? And now we're running the old school triple option. Okay, so we split the guy back to capture the defense's eyes, right? We still hand off the dive. The quarterback, if he feels like he can get around the end, all we tell him is, can you get around the end? If you feel like you can get around the end, then he'll go play the option game. Okay? So now you got dive, boom.
Who's the run read there?
Who's the run read? It still becomes the same thing. Quarterback says. No, he's trying to muscle through to the next level.
Okay.
You see that? See how he goes to the next level? He shouldn't touch him at all, but he does right there. Okay? Okay, so here against the national champions, right? This is the only run. I'll be honest with you. Against these dudes, this triple option was the only run that could piss and drop. I mean, like, these dudes were real guys, right? Alabama found out too. So I remember we left the game. No offense to Coach Odom, right? He goes, "Offense, are you guys going to do any good this year?" And I was like, "Were you at the same game that I was at?" And so when they had like 6 or 7 sacks on Alabama, I said, "That's the defense you were talking about, huh?" Okay, so. Right, but this one against them, right, was the run that we scored a touchdown on in this game. We had a lot of success being able to run triple option against them, right? It's very simple for the quarterback, right? Boom, penetrate and kick, take the ball to the defender, smell his breath, pitch the ball out, boom. Okay, obviously you would think, like, man, we're about to have a home run, huh? Not so fast. Decent game, good game. Okay. All right, here it is again. Now in the red zone, if they're a team that runs across with you, we'll let them run across. Boom, get it out. Same deal there. Okay, I'll try to get through. Oh, it's always good when you show these clips, right? Sorry, when you're at UNLV, it's always fun to, the cannon's been read for 2 years, if anybody was counting. Okay? Right, so same thing, unbalanced formation, right? You got the dive, boom. Same thing, but look, let's watch it. If the quarterback pulls the ball, you got the same action, right? Okay. All right, so here we go. Think players, not plays. All right. So now our Our receiver is in the backfield at running back. Okay, our receiver's in the backfield at running back. How do you get this done? You have to conceptually teach them to play, right? So now we have our receiver in the backfield at running back, and now we're running Penn's pull or buck sweep. Okay, this is how you get, right? Do you have ball in hand guys? Do you have true receivers? Like, what type of guys do you have? You're evaluating them, trying to figure out how do you get them the ball? How do you let them make plays? Okay? Here's another one, Penn Pool. This is a true freshman. Okay, so all the different run schemes. And you see the RPO out here if we want it. Okay, quarterback, can you get around the end? No. Give the ball. Boom. Good job by the line pinning them, right? If you want to be a great running back, you got to be able to make the safety miss. Good job by the O-line. Anytime the ball's on the safety, the O-line did the job, everybody's good. Okay? So you'll see on this tape, if you've been watching, right, there's multiple different guys making plays. It's not just one guy. A lot of guys go to a clinic and they show you their first round pick. Duh. Right? But can you get all the other players to make plays like this and have a successful offense? Right? So same thing here. True freshman at the time right here. He had 12 touchdowns as a true freshman. Penn Pool. Right? So now use the receiver that they're worried about. You use them as the rabbit, the carrot, right? Boom. They're chasing them, right? And now we set it up. Penn, boom, get in the end zone. Okay, I'm trying to get through a lot of these so you guys can see it and then you guys can ask me questions, right? But we went through inside zone, we went through triple option. Now we're going in Penn Pool series, okay? So now same thing, Penn Pool. Now we're pitching it, 21 personnel, right? If that's how they're going to play the nub tight end, we know we got action. The corner doesn't want to tackle anybody. You see how he runs away from the play and then jumps on his back? It's the same thing, fellas. It's the same as high school to college, right? They're a corner for a reason. Okay? Same deal here. Right? So now, right, we set it up. We run the same play. Quarterback fills it. Boom. So now the difference is, right, now we're saying quarterback, this is a three-man surface. We're going to block the end man on the line of scrimmage. So now you're giving the ball or you're pitching the ball right there. Okay, so now we see nobody's on the tight end, not getting covered. Boom, we have a big play. Right, so every single run that we have is defined in two-man or three-man surface. So the quarterback knows, are we blocking the end man on the line of scrimmage or are we not blocking? That's how the quarterback knows how to operate and how much time he has and what he can do with the ball. Where at? This guy right here? This guy right here? This guy? No, he's not a factor. He's in the run. We're not reading him. It really should be that safety that was supposed to be over top, covering him. That's who we would be reading. Okay, now we got ISO. Okay, so use all your players. We had Sammy the Bull, little fullback for us last year. So same thing. This is a three-man surface. We're blocking the end man on the line of scrimmage. Man scheme up front. Okay, odd front teams love to run ISO. Okay, so now we're running ISO. Boom, Sammy blocks the linebackers like he's supposed to. The safeties do a good job holding for them so we can't throw the bang. Quarterback sees that, right? He's slow on the mesh because he wants to throw the bang. He can't. Safety stays there. Now we have a good run. Okay, now okay, we talked about the hype. You saw some of the high school Friday night runs, right? Now here's just a pro style, NFL, outside zone, full zone run. Boom. Receiver's gonna come down, push crack. We don't worry about the corner. Okay, we make the safety miss. Boom. So we can run NFL style runs, we can run high school runs, Saturday runs, whatever you kind of classify those as, we can run all those runs. And we're able to package and put that together for our guys. Okay? All right, so here's one that people always laugh at. This is a high school play. We would pin the guys, right? I remember when I showed this play to coaches at Howard, they laughed at me and said it would never work, and we did the same thing there at Howard. We just walked in the end zone, okay? And then we played Fresno, and we did the same thing at UNLV when they laughed at me and said, Coach, that shit won't work. College guys looking at me like, that's not gonna work. And we go into the end zone. So G League, kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of, G League. Kind of, sort of. Sometimes, depending on the front. Okay? Now here you go. You always got to have one of these, a special, right? Off of your base runs. We have an action. We have a reverse. Off of every single run play that we have in our playbook, we'll have a reverse off of it. We'll have an action pass off of it, a movement pass, right? We'll build that menu off of each run. Okay, so off of each run, you'll have every menu of what you could do off of that run, right? And so here is, we're showing like we're going to run triple option. Boom, and we flip it to our receiver there. Are we good? Did we freeze? Here we go. Okay, so boom, triple option, same deal there. Now we're just handing it off to the receiver, right? And we always, on our reverse passes, we always give the guy the option to throw the ball as well. All right, so say the reverse is not there. Say they right there, boom, we have somebody he can outlet and throw it to. Right there, he could have threw a nice, easy touchdown. He decided to run. Right, and look at the guys. They don't complain that they didn't get the ball. See how he's sitting on his guy and going to block? Right? That's the stuff that we're coaching every day off the film to our guys, how you play without the ball. Okay? Same thing here. We got speed option going one way with the counter going back. Okay, and we flip it to our guy. Right? So misdirection. Yes, love it. Love it. Okay, now shot plays, okay? This is why I got into football, okay? There's three things I love in football. One, a violent ass defense that doesn't have to blitz or do anything, just stand there and just bully your ass, okay? Two, being able to run the ball and the other team can't do nothing about it but cry and complain. Like they're cheating or holding because we're just running right over you. And then third, this like NFL films, old school receiver, throw it as far as you can. Out there playing in the backyard, throw it as far as you can and let's go. Right? That's what I love. I love vertical shots. Okay, so here we get vertical shots down the field, unbalanced formation, make them feel like we're going to run the ball. Right? And now we're taking them over the top. Inside guy knows he's dead with the two safeties. Let's take two, and we'll work the one-on-one on the outside, double post. Okay, Ricky White will be drafted. Okay, good. Throw it to him. Okay, double moves on shots, right? If a team is aggressive and they want to jump routes, okay, we will always throw double moves, right? I always say, like, you can tell how good a passing game is by how many guys are open. Okay, so right here, if you look at the play, you got him open, right? And he's probably open over the middle if we throw it over those guys' head. We got three guys open. Boom, touchdown, Ricky White. Right, max protect shots. Got to have them in, right? These guys get aggressive, right? Especially if you're a running team, right? You got to get vertical down the field if they're putting those safeties in the box. Okay? All right, here we go. Here's now, this is thinking about third downs, okay? So at UNLV in 2023, when we had a true passing quarterback, okay? When you have a real passing quarterback, it's how you can isolate guys and win third down so you can continue to move the chains forward and move the sticks. Okay, so this kid right here is now starting at USC. I think Coach Mertz talked to you about him earlier, Jaden Maalva. Okay, and so what we're trying to do is isolate our guy on their worst guy. Okay, and so on third downs, it's very simple. Just get the ball to your best guy on their worst guy, right? And get the first down. All you got to think about there is getting the first down. You don't have to think about anything else. Okay, so we max protect our best guy, right? And we call that a shush route. That means get open. So he could have ran a slant if he wanted, That means the receiver that we tag that has the shush route, he can do whatever route he needs to win the play. And the quarterback knows that he has max protection. I have time. Boom, he got to win. Okay, and boom, he works back out. He wins. First down. Okay, so bring whatever blitz you want. We got full slide in there. We should be good. Doesn't matter. We know we got zero coverage or one, right? And we're going to work it and win. Okay. All right, here's another shot play. Make it look like triple option. Capture the eyes, right? This is first play of the game. We got a turnover, first play of the game. Let's make it look like triple option. No, it's not. Throw it over the top. Score a touchdown. Okay, so the run game is your friend, right? For all my air raid guys in here, the run game is your friend. For all my triple option, I only run the veer guys in here, the pass game is your friend. You need both. Okay, they both go hand in hand. It's no better than getting an easy one-play drive. Okay, here's under center. Okay, just a little movement pass under center. Faking the toss. You see how it captures all these guys. We got to stop the run. When you're playing a run-stopping team, all the movement passes are great because they're going to fly to stop the run. Right? Easy way to get you a completion. Okay? Right here, another movement pass. Right? How can we play the two-man game? Right? If you want to play man, obviously we know your safety. The inside guy is probably the worst cover guy of the two. So we try to set the pick, run the out and up. Boom. Okay? Throw it down the field, movement pass. Okay, O-line coaches, Coach K. Rich loves this because the O-line, all you gotta do is pin your guy and stay over there. Okay, it's not, the quarterback ever takes a sack on that play, he gets cussed out. Okay, you gotta get the ball out of your hands on a moving pass. Okay, about that time. Okay, here we go, drop back pass. Okay, drop back pass. Right, so how do you go win games that teams that they got cover guys, they can stop the run, right? Then we got to get in our drop back pass game, and so. Drop back passes for us, this is big for this situation of the game right here. We really needed this. Okay? And so right now we have a true drop back pass for our quarterback, 5-man distribution, scat protection. Boom. Okay, so we have all this stuff, right? This is all in our offense. Okay, so keep trying to give you a little bit more. Another one, drop back pass. Okay, I call these our NASCAR package of passes. Basically, the quarterback has 10 passes. The old school way of the quarterback could call the play when I was in the NFL. The quarterback would call the play, and you just lined up and you had to run whatever that meant. He'd say one, and everybody knew what one meant. You line up in one, and you run that route. Right? It doesn't matter where the ball lies. It's like golf. Okay, so if it's left hash, middle, right, you line up in the same formation. You run the same pass play. So we converted a lot of third downs this year, running the same play, and we just lined up in it. When I was at Pitt, and we had Kenny Pickett, right? He had 4,000 yards. He threw about 2,000 off of just drop back quarterback. You get to call the call. It was the same pass play the whole year, and everybody knew we were doing it. But he knows where his guys are, right? He has a lot of confidence, full progression for him, right? He knows he's protected, 6-man pro on most of these, and then we get the ball out. Okay, so just flood drive right there, or drive flood, however you look at it. Okay, keep rolling. Here's another one. Game on the line down in Fresno. Right? This is an option route by this receiver. He has 3 win route. He can run a seam. He can run a big box fade if it's pressed high 1, and if he sees the middle open, he can take the middle open. Quarterback knows he's not worried about the rush. He sees, boom, I got this guy wide open. I got this guy wide open. I got him wide open. That's his little way. Okay. All right. Here's another high school play. Right? 4 people line up. Okay. How can we get our playmaker the ball? Tempo. We're going fast. Right? Boom, they're not lined up. My man Carter he didn't have that signal on his Netflix series. He didn't know that one. Right? We get the ball on. Okay, we good there? All right, so you need some of that. Right? You need all that. Okay? And so how do we get all that accomplished? Okay, I'll show you guys a practice plan. You can take a picture of it. We'll print you one if you want one. Okay, but this is how we get all this stuff accomplished in practice. This is how our practice runs. Okay? And so what we do in our practice is we are a big, heavy emphasis on special teams. That's the fastest way to get your ass beat in the game, by having shitty special teams. Okay, so we have a lot of special teams periods in what we do. Okay, but here we go. We go special teams, then we go fastball. That's just starting off practice, going fast, tempo. playing with great tempo. Then we have ball security circuit. Okay, whatever that is, everybody's going through the ball security circuit. On defense, they're doing a takeaway circuit. Okay, then we have our interiors. The receivers are running routes on air with the quarterbacks. Then we go to the tight ends. Okay, then we go to inside runs. So now we're working on Steeler, right? All our tough downhill runs, we're getting those done. And then we're working one-on-ones. Then we have team run, where we bring the whole group together. Okay, and we're rolling. Okay, so team run, we're running all our runs. There's no passes in that. We have one pass because the defense started cheating too much when we said we're not going to pass it at all. And the corner started blitzing, so we put one pass in there out of the 5 plays. Okay, out of the 5 plays, there'll be one shot or movement pass down the field. The rest of those are just straight runs. Okay, then we go to our deep ball, our bunch, deep ball, sideline tackle. So we play a perimeter game now, so we work the bunches, we work sideline tackle. This is short, condensed space for our guys who don't play football anymore. They don't play football outside all day long anymore. Right? So you need to get these periods in where they're actually just doing stuff that you would naturally do when we were kids outside. You just threw it up and you wouldn't try to make a play. You just tried to beat a guy's face. You play tag, like all those different things. We try to get those in this period. Then we go to 7-on-7. So now in 7-on-7, we're working all our drop back pass game. So we're not working any shots or movement plays. We're working true drop back passes. 3rd down, same thing. We're working our drop back passes, right? We're working our man passes where we're going to max protect and throw it to one guy and get them open, right? And working our screen game. Then we go to team play ball. That's 4 plays, and it teaches the guys to learn situational football. 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. Or it's 1st down, we got a big play. Boom, transitions another 1st down, right? They're just teaching them how to play actual football, right? And then we go to special teams again. Then we have PAT field goal, and typically every day we finish with 2 minutes. Okay, we finish with 2 minutes every day. So that's a practice, and Christian is here. He saw me when I coached in high school a long time ago. Okay, we ran the same practice when I was I had 3 coaches, and I would do county fair, and I'd have one guy who could do the drill good at running back, one guy who could do the drill good at receiver. I'd be coaching the quarterback. Me and my O-line coach would be over here, and I'd be looking around like, all right, next drill, horn, boom, and we go to drills, then we go to practice, and boom, we'd be detailed on what we're doing. So I thought what Coach Glad gave us was great because that's what he's trying to do is alleviate the stress for your players. So now when they get in all these situations, they're used to being in them, right? And I always wanted to say to our players, this is the last thing I'll tell you, if we lose, I want us to lose because that other team just whooped our ass. Right? That D-line just whooped our ass. Not that we weren't prepared, not that